Imagine being freed from bondage in Egypt, and then wandering through the wilderness. By day, Yahuah goes ahead of you in a pillar of cloud to guide on your way, and by night, a pillar of fire. Yahuah, the Most-High Elohim, is providing for your every need. He's feeding you manna in the wilderness. You're seeing miracles. The sandals upon your feet do not wear out. You're learning how to live out His instructions in righteousness. And then one day, your prophet Moses receives a letter from King Og. These are his purported words. Words to Moses. The final words of King Og. Did you think, O corrupt worm of Israel, that I did not stand above the great water in the mountains? You who have never touched the sky or stood tall over anyone. My meditation, my dreams, are your loose-bowed death. Baal of the earth will guide me like he did with Nimrod, the mangled-loined Nephilim worm. Behold, I am Og, the largest man in the land. What can you possibly do to me? Are you prepared to die? I have watched you crawl into the light as a corrupt, fecal worm. I have watched your mother Egypt eat your young. I watch now and I ponder, is this why you now war with me, O worm of Israel? You have slain my neighbor in Sihon. Baal will avenge and empower me to sever the corrupt worm with force. Your false Elohim, your weak little men, I, Og, will spit upon your warriors who trail like ants beneath feces. I, Og, will wipe the spittle from my beard. I, Og, will arise when ready, and with the strength in but one arm, I, Og, will break all the horn of Israel. Are the tales of my exploits not traveling to your itching ears, O corrupt fecal worm of Israel? Of my power? Of how I, Og, did battle against the unspeakable scaled monsters in the renowned fields along my Nephilim and Rephaim parentage? How we molded to murder, how we turned our wrath where the old world monsters stood. Stupid fecal worm, stupid, corrupt fecal worm, your ox-like stupidity tires me to sleep. Oh, bitter, blackened, corrupt fecal worm, did not my royal smaller self, sorceresses of Baal of the earth, dance and prophesy of your arrival? Have we in Bashan not dreamed nightly of your murder? My soothsayers tell of our victory. My priestesses speak of sorcery and perversion, for Baal has spoken. For when I, Og, will tear the virgin child skull of the corrupt fecal worm Moses from his soft dung-filled body and hold it over Bashan as a bloody sign to Baal of the earth. Your barren women will sing praises to Og. My dreams need no interpretation. How will I, Og, murder corrupt one? I murder you as a dog torn by a bull at the slaughter. Should I lift an entire mountain of earth over my head? Is not Baal the Elohim of this fertile earth that I, Og, live in? The kingdom of supreme Baal has thousands of answers to the pathetic, excreta-smeared, insect-sized Elohim of Israel. Come here, that I, Gog, might bind you with bracelets and cords empowered by Baal of the earth outside of our temple in the high places. How many castaways have you killed since your insect-sized Elohim told you not to kill? You were commanded, you fecal-minded hypocrite. The spirits of the slain complain about you and cry out. Moses, you blood-drunk feaster upon feces, like a cowardly virgin's smaller self, with gift toys before the sacrifice, you run from the skirts of your mother Egypt to me, that we may do battle? I, Og, will grind your bones to their dung marrow. I, Og, will pluck your eyes from your face and toss them to the blood pit. I will eat both of your arms to the stump. Great fear shall seize you, and you shall fall upon your blood vomit-stained face, broken and contrite before Og. My smaller self-priestesses, my smaller self-sorceresses of Baal of the earth, they shall dance and witness the slaughter of the corrupt fecal worm of Israel. And they will disrobe and paint their supple flesh with Moses' blood and entrails before Baal of the earth. When we celebrate on high, and Ogias will carry the severed stupid virgin child skull on high over the roads, there will be screams of praise to Og, to Baal of the sun. There will be roast flesh served to Baal of the earth, to Baal of the stars and celestial bodies, even to Mot, to Og. Cheers as Moses' virgin head is held high through the roads of Bashan. Because you want it so, I will anoint my head and beard with oil before I make war with you. Insect worshipping, excreta-mouthed virgin child, you will be defeated. Corrupt little worm's smaller self Moses, my spies have told I, Og, of your smaller self army, and their worship for any Elohim but yours, and your murderous solutions, of your time in Egypt, of your commandments, of your laws, of your violence and madness, all in the name of your fecal, insect-sized Elohim. Is not your hypocrisy shining as a beacon before you? You who should not kill because of your Elohim's commandment are the most murderous of all. Corrupt, fecal worm, smaller self Moses. My spies told of the bronze snake to look upon when poisoned. You would kill your own for not worshiping your senseless, corrupt, insect-sized Elohim who kills yet commands that you should not. Murderous, smaller self Israel, now at the foot of my kingdom, I will gird my complete loins to destroy you and all of your flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under the stars, and everything of yours that has life shall die. As the last of the Rephaim, leader in the 100,000 giant war, and the survivor of the great waters, I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children shall be fatherless. You will be slaughtered and burned for Baal of the earth. Baal the sun will bring down the flames. You would gird your loins against the last of the Rephaim? Gird them well. It is time to stand against a true priest of Baal. Upon your firstborn I will feed. I will kill your root and slay your remnant. My hands are ready for warfare. In my late age, the stray dogs of Bashan will feast on the flesh of Israel and the yellowing entrails of Moses on the roads and in the paths. Baal of the earth wills it so. My spies say that when you killed the king of Shihon, you killed the women and children, keeping the spoils. Your corrupt fecal Elohim has driven you mad. Murder, slaughter, destruction at the hands of Israel. Of war madness, drunk with the blood and spoils, enemies learned. Life is still lost, even when the battle is won. Worm. I will release the floating wild beast, the Gontiqua, to you, O corrupt fecal worm of Israel. Learn to suffer its ways of connection from before your time. Before your flood, before your Nimrod, we were there. From the time of monsters, from the time of the bright ones, my brethren in the fields, their livestock and the greater beasts of old, creeping, cloven-hoofed monsters that ruled, the giants, those men of old with powerful dark ones, connected in heart and mind and unstoppable before the Elohim. One mind and of one heart they ruled. These men of old and their beasts, driven before them, beasts that controlled the men as the men controlled the beast. Oh, stupid, corrupt, fecal worm Moses. Learn to fear the heart of an animal and the mind of a giant. It is time for you to share your being with something greater. I want no victory, no spoils, just your stupid head. Train for strange weapons. Make war, little man. Make war, corrupt little worm. For Baal of the earth, I'll spread the blood of your virgin body. I, Og, have been training each arm as one trains their oxen. My old world back and legs are ready. I will tear your backbone, your backside. For Baal of the earth, I, Og, will pull the fecal-bearded, smaller self-child skull of Moses from your dung-filled body. I, Og, the last of the Rephaim, know how long Moses has to live. I have not summoned such anger since the 100,000 giant war. Words to Moses, the final words of King Og.